Hi, everyone. My name is Samantha, and welcome to another edition of TAD Tune-Up, where I'm going to be sharing some knowledge about TitanAdvisor. Today's topic is going to be related to memberships, though we are not going to be talking about setting up memberships, but we're going to talk about reporting and how we can use reporting to get as much information about our memberships and our recurring services as possible out of ServiceTitan. So if that's something that you're interested in, this is the feature for you. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen. We're going to bring up ServiceTitan and let's just go ahead and jump right in. All right, so we've got our dashboard right here, and I, of course, am going to move away from the dashboard and come up to TitanAdvisor, which, of course, is going to be our little rocket ship icon up here in the upper right-hand corner of the screen. So let's go ahead and click into that. So to find today's feature, I'm going to move over here to the left-hand side of our screen under Business Sections. And we're going to go ahead and click into this first option here, which is, of course, lead generation. And then once we are here in lead generation, we are going to move away from our launch stage, which is where we are at now, and we're going to go ahead and move into acceleration. And what we are going to be looking for once we are here in acceleration is get customized membership metric reports. We've got 3 points on the line for this one. Let's go ahead and click into this and see what we are going to get out of membership metric reports. So right off the bat, want to call out that this is customized membership reports related, which means there is a feature gate on this one. If you have customized report, you're good to go. If you do not have customized reports, might be something that you need to look into, but want to call that out that the ability to create customized reports is required for this. So when we're talking about getting customized membership metric reports in ServiceTitan, of course, lead generation is going to be an aspect of this. We want to get our memberships going so we can continue providing services for these customers. And of course, by using reports, the things that we're going to get out of this feature is going to be gaining business insights, as all reporting does, as well as driving revenue. So that's going to be kind of what the impact we're going to see here by using this feature. And because we are using memberships, this is going to be something that we typically see customers who provide services for residential in the service and replacement space, as well as residential in the construction space. So this is a more residential focused feature. Now, obviously, if you have custom reports within ServiceTitan, this includes a lot of customizable report templates. We're going to be focusing on membership related templates today. However, if you guys have gone into customized reports, you know there's a lot of data that can be utilized to create those reports. But when we're talking about membership specifically, things that we can get out of these customizable reports are going to be things like the number of active memberships that we have, renewal rates, revenue recognition, recurring services events, and more. These reports can provide a lot of information, and these insights can help you make a lot of decisions within your company to help streamline job booking, improve sales, track deferred revenue if you guys are using deferred revenue, etc. So it's an incredibly valuable feature to use if you are managing memberships or recurring service events. Now, the affected KPIs that we're going to see by utilizing these reports are going to be lifetime value of a customer, as well as leads from members. So are we getting additional revenue from our members? Now we can see here right below that we have a handy dandy animation. We're not going to spend too much time looking at that because I'm going to do a brief demo of building out a report. So let's go ahead and scroll on down to the bottom of this page and see what it's all about. So we've got 2 areas that we need to address here. First is going to be what to set up. And then the second area is, of course, going to be how to use. So the first thing we're going to look at here is what to set up. Obviously, when it comes to TitanAdvisor and getting those points, the first thing that we need to do is make sure we address any setup items, because if these are showing as incomplete, then any points that might be on the table will not show up in our account until we complete it. So the first thing we need to set up is creating recurring service reports. The recurring services upcoming appointments template reports on recurring service events to help you manage and review membership service jobs. So this report is to help you make sure that once you sell a membership to a customer, are we providing any recurring service events that come with that membership? One thing I want to call out here is the recurring services upcoming appointments template is going to be the recurring service events template. There's a bit of a name change there. I will highlight that in my demo, but just want to call that out here, and you will see me demonstrate that here in a few minutes as the template that we are going to use. But once you have that template, you can of course use that template to customize a view of recurring service events that you think would help you either manage those recurring service events or get key insights from previous recurring service events that have been booked. Now, what the success criteria is that ServiceTitan's looking for, and of course, by success criteria, we mean what needs to be done in order for this to show as complete, is we need to create and save at least one report based on the recurring service events template, not the recurring service upcoming appointments template. So just one report that has been created and saved based on that template. Now, if you really want to dig into how to create this report, there's a really handy knowledge base article that is linked here if you click on Learn More. I'm going to go ahead and click on that just to kind of show you how extensive this particular knowledge base article is. So if you really want to dig in, highly recommend having a look at this article. Though I'm going to do a quick demo of where to find this report template in the report section. So I'm going to switch over to another screen and let's go ahead and hop into a demonstration. So I'm going to come up here to reports. And once we are here in reports, we can either check to see if we already have a report, using this particular template. You can come up here to the top and select templates and look for that recurring service events template here. But we're going to go ahead and just very quickly demonstrate where to find this when you're creating a customized report. So I'm going to move up here to the Create Report button. Once here, it's going to ask you to choose a report type. I always just select all. That's going to give you every single report template that's available to us. And then once we have all selected, we're going to get our list of templates. And like I mentioned before, we want to be sure that we are looking for the recurring service events template. These are in alphabetical order. So we're going to scroll down to those R's. We're going to find the recurring service events template here. And this is the report that we need to, this is the template that we need to build this report off of. Once you're in here, you can of course have a look at the different data points you can pull into this report. So depending on what kind of insights you want to get out of this report, it could be upcoming recurring service events that you want to pull a report on. It could be previous recurring service events that you want to pull a report on to make sure they've been scheduled. However you want to customize this report is up to you. All we are looking for is making sure that we have a report on hand that we can use to manage these recurring service events. So I'm going to, just as a demonstration, pull in a job scheduled date. I want to see if a job has been scheduled for any of these recurring service events. And once I have that data point selected, I'm going to go ahead and hit next. We're going to call this one recurring service events, jobs scheduled. We're going to put this under operations, and then we're just going to go ahead and down here and hit save. And by simply creating this report, we have now satisfied the success criteria that ServiceTitan's looking for in that particular feature. We have created a customized report based on the recurring service events template, and we have saved it. Now, of course, once we have this saved, you guys can utilize the data in here again to get insights that would be helpful to you. Upcoming recurring service events, previous recurring service events, have jobs been scheduled from these recurring service events, a lot of insight. And as a reminder, we have that help article that can really help you dig in. All right, I'm going to go ahead and head back over to TitanAdvisor. Now that we've addressed what needs to be set up, Let's go ahead and look at the how to use. Now, this is where those 3 points come into play, right? We want to make sure that once we have these reports set up, we are actually going in and utilizing them to get as much insight as possible. And there's two areas that ServiceTitan is going to look for when it comes to this. And the first one is going to be running a customer memberships report. So when it comes to your memberships, obviously something we want to stay on top of is, of course, are we selling new memberships? Are we renewing existing memberships? Is billing is set the way it needs to be? Are we getting revenue? And so much more insight, right? We want to be sure that we are keeping an eye on this to make sure we're getting providing as much value to our customers, and of course, making sure that we are driving revenue through our membership program. Now, a call out here is that you don't necessarily need to run manual membership reports in order to get points on this. What we are measuring to get points right here in the italicized text is the percent of weeks a report based on the customer memberships template was run or scheduled in the past 90 days. I'm going to repeat that one because it's a bit of a mouthful. This is going to be the percent of weeks a report based on the customer memberships template was run or scheduled, so that's going to be manually run, or you have scheduled the report to be emailed out in the past 60 days. So if we look at the past 60 days and break it into weeks, so that's what, roughly 8 weeks, right? What percentage of those weeks has a report based on the customer memberships template been run? If it's over 10% of those weeks, then we get 1 point. And if we see over 20% of those weeks, we get 2 points. And then the second thing that we are going to see below that is, of course, run a recurring services report. Now, we just built one of these. So if you built one as well, you can use that report that you built. Of course, if you already had one built, you can use those to satisfy this particular usage area. But of course, we know that running regular recurring service reports helps us keep track of providing the services that we sold through the memberships. You can also schedule regular delivery of these reports, just like with the membership report, so you don't need to manually run these. So very similar to what we saw in the previous section, we're going to be measuring the percent of weeks a report based on the recurring services events template that was run or scheduled in the past 60 days. So again, of the last roughly 8 weeks, what percentage of those weeks did we run a report based on the recurring service events template? And if you have over 10% of those weeks, you get 1 point. So if you satisfy all of these things, you get 3 points going towards your TitanAdvisor score. But more importantly, you're getting more insight into your memberships and your recurring services. Now, a quick call out here. We talked about under the what to set up, we have this learn more button that's going to take you to that knowledge base article that helps you kind of dig into building a report out of templates. But below that, we see a get started. Anytime you see a get started button, what that's going to do, it's going to take you directly to that area in ServiceTitan where you need to do this action. So in this case, if I hit get started, it's going to open up the report section of ServiceTitan, and I can get started on looking for and scheduling a report based on whatever template we need. So in this case, customer memberships. All right, and that's going to be our TitanAdvisor feature for this video, get customized membership metric reports. I hope you guys utilize this, get as much insight out of your memberships as you can, and we hope to see you in our next video. Thank you for joining me, and you guys have a good one.